Don't you just love it when a movie begins to play and the first thing you notice is the Blumhouse Productions logo? It's a green flag that the movie will give you chills. The same goes for James Wan's Atomic Monster Productions. We have exciting news. The horror-powered houses are looking to team up. So get ready to watch The Purge versus Annabelle. In this video, let's talk about the potential merger the Insidious producers are eyeing. First of all, here's everything we know about the potential merger. Talk about a better merger. We'll wait. Back in November, The Hollywood Reporter broke the news that horror masterminds Jason Blum and James Wan are in advanced talks about merging their production companies as separate labels. Blumhouse and Atomic Monster are home to several horror hits and popular franchises like Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, and Insidious. Deadline also confirmed the exciting news about possible discussions of a merger. The talks come just before the arrival of their latest collaboration, the sci-fi thriller Megan. Maybe it's a test run. A merger means that more terror awaits. And it doesn't mean starting from scratch, but the two companies will continue to work as separate labels. They'll keep maintaining their creative autonomy and brand identity. Atomic will benefit from the first look deal with Universal Pictures that Blumhouse is currently under, having come to the end of its deal with Warner Bros. Over the summer. We've learned that Atomic reached the end of its deal with Warner Bros. In the summer, so the merger is ideal for them. But this isn't all. It holds more benefits for Atomic. It will get access to the Blumhouse infrastructure and build up its scope of horror-related live entertainment, games, and audio. Insidious was the first movie the producers worked on, and now, 12 years later, and about 7 projects in between, they're ready to introduce a new level to their professional friendship. Next up, the project they'll revive. The masters of fear inducers sat down for a joint interview with The Hollywood Reporter, THR, and the topic of the potential merger came up. And Blum revealed that if he teams up with Wan, it's giving him hope for a sequel to the 2020 smash hit thriller The Invisible Man. The movie was a critical and commercial success, and it garnered about $144 million worldwide. Naturally, audiences hoped to see a sequel that would promise Blumhouse a new franchise, but in the 3 years gap since the first movie was released, no announcements about a sequel were ever made. He said that if their merger dream comes true, then Wan would definitely help him solve that problem. His 42-year-old friend immediately chimed in, saying that he'd be more than happy to revive talks about a sequel with writer/director Lee Winnell. If a merger means a sequel to that insane movie, we need it to happen. Now, what about a Megan franchise? The techno horror thriller movie is set for a January 6th release. It hasn't even been released yet, but news of a sequel is finding its way to the producers of an entirely new franchise. The entire internet is looking forward to the release. Thanks to its interesting plot, it's a whole new take on a horror film. It's giving us chills, honestly. The sci-fi movie is looking to explore terror within technology, something we're blindly relying on like every second of the day. Even director Gerard Johnston pointed out that we're not far away from something like Megan existing. Plus, the clever marketing the film is using is just brilliant. Recently, the doll was spotted dancing to a Taylor Swift track, and obviously, the video went viral and spread like wildfire on TikTok. Twitter users helped to create memes that went viral and did the job for the marketing team. It's not even released, but the hype is so high that it would uncover a new horror franchise for Blumhouse and Atomic Monster. Coming up, Wan talked about a potential sequel. THR asked the Furious 7 director whether it's true that Universal wants a Megan sequel already, and his response was just like his past statements of not putting the cart before the horse. He told the outlet that he's very superstitious and doesn't like jumping onto sequel discussions before the first movie isn't even out. Still, he offered hope by saying that when he composes a movie, he maps out the bigger world and not just one story. Wan said that if the crew is fortunate enough to put out more stories, they'll definitely turn to pick some from the bigger world. Let's rewatch the unsettling unsettling teaser trailers while we wait for the movie to release. Let's look at its disturbing teaser clip. The film released an exclusive IMDb teaser clip as we're rolling into the new year and getting closer to the release week. The teaser, titled First Look, shook audiences, and it's received over 300,000 views on YouTube. We see that the android doll isn't ready to tolerate anything against her best friend Katie, and the latest clip shows us a familiar forest scene where she teaches a school bully some manners. The killer doll has a heightened sense of self-awareness, and so she decides to take matters into her own hands. We've seen flashes of the forest scene in the trailers, but the IMDb exclusive clip gives impatient fans an extended look. Up next, the scene didn't take long to distress viewers. We see the doll lying pretty much dead on the ground, and Katie's school bully, Brandon, is blasting her with insults. Suddenly, the wicked robot bounces right up from the ground, and she grabs Brandon's ear. The scene turns horrid when she starts pulling on it, and his ear skin stretches like it was putty. Just be careful how you behave with Katie, guys, because Megan can't stand bad people. She gives Brandon a talk on how boys become bad if they're left unchecked, and eventually they turn out to become bad men. She's just helping him learn manners. We're unsure if you want to hear the rest of her cruelty, but this is pretty much it from the clip. The scene wraps up with the android ripping off a piece of his ear. Then she's levitating above the ground as if she's possessed by a crazy demon. She throws away her victim's ear fat, and we see the guy running away from the deranged robot. Moving forward, the director teased potential crossovers. Megan director Johnston has teased that we could be getting an Annabelle crossover. This isn't the first time that Wan has worked on a film featuring a killer doll. He even worked on the Annabelle franchise. The director sat down with Entertainment Weekly, and there came up a debate on who's the lethal killer doll. The question wasn't just posed to the director, but also to the producers and main star, Allison Williams. The producers instantly jumped on and hinted at the robot's potential power level. Blum shared his opinion that Annabelle is a bit of a challenge, but Megan can definitely take down the killer, iconic doll, Chucky. That's right, it wouldn't take more than a millisecond for the robot to research his weaknesses. Like, she has all the answers, so it wouldn't be a fair fight. On the other hand, the director was all in favor of Annabelle, believing that her demonic nature would give her an advantage. But he was quick to tease a crossover movie that would feature a duel between the dolls. He's convinced that it's the only way to rule out which doll would win. Moving on, the movie's producers revealed the reason behind the PG-13 rating. Everyone's wondering why the thriller movie didn't receive an R rating. Surprisingly, the movie will release on January 6th to PG-13 audiences. Looking at some of the trailers and clips we've seen online, we're wondering if the horror in this upcoming Blumhouse production will be fine for teenagers. Like that latest scene where she pulled off fat from a bully's ear. Isn't that gruesome for teenage audiences? Make sure you check out the first look clip and be the judge. Well, the producers have defended the selection of a PG-13 rating. They discussed it during their interview with The Hollywood Reporter. One then also noted how the rating opens Megan up to teenagers, a demographic that he believes will really dig the film. Blum was quick to point out that some of the scariest horror movies of all time are rated PG-13, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. He also prompted audiences to watch the movie first and then complain about the rating. He also mentioned that he's done several R-rated films too, and Megan is a film that teenagers will like because it will connect with them. So now that it's approved for teenage audiences too, we're hoping you buy a ticket to watch it on the big screen. Wrapping it up, what other projects are the producers working on? A few months ago, Blum and the movie stars of Freaky and Happy Death Day were spotted on a red carpet together, and it immediately sparked conversations of a possible crossover movie. Unfortunately, the Purge producer shut down all the rumors. He was sad to announce that if anyone's dreaming of Freaky Death Day, stop doing that, because there are very few chances of a crossover happening. For Megan, Wan has teamed up with his frequent terrific screenwriter, Akela Cooper, Cooper. It has Malignant fans excited, as the movie is literally another child to their list of collaborations. Naturally, fans were wondering if there's a Malignant 2 somewhere on their to-do list, but the writer said no. He said that the team is definitely keeping Cooper busy with several projects, but a sequel to Malignant isn't really at the top of the list right now. Other than this, the duo has the 5th Insidious chapter in post-production. Insidious: Fear the Dark has none other than franchise star Patrick Wilson grabbing the director's seat for the first time. And if their merger possibly works out, we might even get The Invisible Man 2 from them. And of course, we're sure the horror maestros have other ideas floating in their minds. They know they're experts at sparking off terror. That's a wrap for this video. Are you hoping that Blumhouse and Atomic Monster Productions become partners? Let us know in the comments below. If you're excited about the upcoming horror movie, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.